Welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks here. Jared and Bob flying at you on a Sunday evening for us, and whenever it is that you're listening to this. Bob's got a fun story for us to kick us off.
So anyone that listened to the last episode would recall my final thought was about the old T-box yips that I had at Wannamoiset.
Yep.
And extended a little bit into the next 9. Whatever. So I ended up going to the range for 2.5 hours on Wednesday morning. Played 9 holes Thursday, and then I had a member guest at my place one day. 1 best ball gross, 1 best ball net. So nothing crazy. I was bringing clients, so they were getting 7, 14, and 21 strokes. So like, I personally didn't think we had a fucking chance. Or I knew we had a chance because guys were getting a lot of strokes, but it's like those guys need to time it all out.
Right. Yeah.
So so I went from T-box yips on Monday to breaking par at my own home course for the first time ever. 71, 1 under with a double on our last hole.
That's always fun.
Well, that was yippy. No, because I got yippy because I'm standing over there, like, because I didn't know where I genuinely didn't know where I stood. I knew I had a fucking good round going.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there like, oh, got a good one going. Hook that into the trees. And it's like I got a 7-iron in my hands being like, all you got to do is run this short of the green because you got a good one going. Hook that into a bunker. Skull that out of it. Whatever. Like, shit show.
Yeah.
And I almost hold out for fucking 5. But so I shoot 1 under. I mean, yips like a couple fucking gross tee shots. Fine. I had my 4th eagle of the season. So again, for anyone who's been following this fucking saga since late April, 0 in 10 years and 4 this year. So
when it rains, it pours.
So I would just like to proclaim, and this is the first time ever my handicap has had a 1 in front of it.
Very nice.
1.9. So
very nice.
Golf is stupid, and it fucking sucks.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So you said you have a scramble that Monday too, right?
Yeah, I have a scramble on the 31st, which is from work. So it's like I don't have to work that day because I got the scramble.
Right.
So if I wasn't playing the scramble, then I'd have to work.
Right. This is just a random question. Like when you register for an event like that and your handicap changes, does your handicap go by what it is the day of the event or what it was when you registered?
There will be a time where they have a cutoff for a net event. So usually it's closer to the actual event because like 2 weeks, like that can move.
Yeah.
So it might be, usually they give a date, but maybe they don't. But it's probably going to be close to the event. Now, when I register for events and there's eligibility, like you can't get in that's different.
Right.
It's usually at registration if you have the correct handicap you're in. And if you're supposed to be a 5.4 or below for registration and you register and then you're like a fucking 10 come tournament time, they don't care. Because at registration, no, they might say something to you.
Right.
Like what happened, or like, hey, like you're going out there, man. But like if you chunk up like a really high score, like we're gonna fucking notice that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for like net events, like when I do because I don't play a ton of net events, but Tour Greater Boston, the tee times only come out like 2 days before, and that's when that's when the handicaps lock.
Okay.
So
So yeah, I mean, I guess I can just jump right into this. I was going to talk about the Open, but we'll talk about the Open in a second. It's less about the Open and more about Brian Harman, but we'll get to that. So I was going to use this for my final thought, but since we all opened with golf and your golf game, I'm going to talk my golf game now. um, because my handicap went up from I think it was like a 15.6 or a 15.7. I think it went to a 16.1, right? So obviously not like a huge move, like a half a point. Um, but I was just curious, right? Like when it comes to like when at the time I registered, I was a 15.7.
Yeah, it won't lock. It shouldn't lock at registration. They should give out strokes a lot closer to the actual event. Because it really just comes down to whenever they do the scorecards. Because whenever they do the scorecards, they're going to dot them.
Right.
And that's when it locks. But they're not going to dot scorecards like last week.
Right.
They'll probably do them like the Friday before or something.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good then. So which brings me to my next point. So obviously my handicap went up a little bit, but I am playing, I feel like my best golf right now. So I screenshotted my stats from 18 birdies and I sent it to you. Again, like you said, golf is stupid and it sucks. I shot a 4 over. So I played at Chamawa, again, the local. I wouldn't call it a muni because it's not a muni, but like it's the closest thing, right, to like a local muni that I got. It's literally down the street from my house. It's short. It's great conditions though, typically, especially for what you pay. So shout out to those guys. But the so I played Friday afternoon and I shot a 4 over. So for the first time, I think ever, right? Like I think that might be my best score ever through 9 is a 4 over. So the way I did it, I'll just read the scorecard. So par, triple, double, par, birdie. So I had a really, really fucking tough stretch on the third and fourth hole with a back-to-back triple and then a double, and then pars everywhere else and a birdie on the ninth hole, which is the only par 3 on the front. So this was the first time that different areas of my game clicked at different times, right? So like I think we've talked on the show, but like if anyone out there follows golf, right, or you golf yourself, right, that in a round you're never going to have all areas going at the same time, right? Like you might drive the ball really well, putt the ball really well, but you hit your irons like shit, and like maybe your wedges are shit too, right? So if you divide into 4 areas, right, driver, irons, wedges, putter, and putting. Very rarely are you going to ever. You're almost never, actually, almost never. Even the pros never have all 4 on at the same time. But this was the first round ever that, to my recent knowledge, that I've had all 4 be on at different times, right? So instead of like a full round of like I'm hitting the driver really well, but I'm hitting my irons like shit, it was like I hit my driver really fucking well, and then I hit like a good wedge shot and then 2 putts for par, right? So like it was stuff like that, or it was I just had a really awful tee shot with the driver, but I make a great recovery and then chip it close and then putt out and be done with it. You know what I mean? So outside of the third and fourth holes, right? The third and fourth holes were obviously disasters, right? I went triple double. And that's not good because this isn't basketball. But all of my other holes were like I said, like if I didn't make a good drive, I then made a good iron shot with recovery, or like I made an okay recovery and then I left my wedge shot or a chip shot, depending on how close I was, like 8 feet, and then nailed the putt, right? Like it was obviously I made what, 6 pars, right? And then on the 9th hole, which is the par 3, I hit my tee shot like 8 feet from the pin and then hit the putt for a birdie. So obviously the 9th hole, arguably the best hole, right, is the only birdie. But like I hit a great shot off the tee with an 8-iron to 8 feet and then hit the 8-foot putt for birdie. So it's just, it was a nice feeling because it's never happened before, right? So like I said before, I can't sit here and be like, that was my best driving round, because it wasn't, or that was my best iron round, because it wasn't, right? But now my wedges around the green, right, my short game around the green and putting over the last, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks, I've been super confident in anyway. So that's fine. Like, I'm not worried about the ups and downs really of the wedges and the putter. But different areas were able to like pick up the slack at different times when I needed it. And I was like, wow, is that how this fucking game is supposed to work?
No. No, it is not.
I was also making like a couple wild shots. So on the second hole, so the second hole at Chimawa is short, right? So I hit a 6-iron off the tee, because the tees were up too. They were close to the red tees. So I pulled 6-iron and I hit it thin. And I think my 6-iron off the tee went about 150 yards, but it was in the fairway. So I think I had 150 yards in, maybe a little bit less. So I took 8-iron and I absolutely nuked the 8-iron, but I yanked it. So I don't know if you remember, like, where the second green is, there's a fuck ton of trees along the left side, because that's the 7th hole coming back. The par 5 goes the opposite direction. So I crushed an 8-iron over by the tee box on 7, and I got a fuck ton of trees in front of me. So I have 2 options. I can try and thread the needle really low underneath the trees, but I have to not hit a trunk, right? There's like probably 7 or 8 tree trunks in the way. I've got a small window and it's a hill. I got to bang it into the hill and pop it on the green. Or I can try a hero shot, right, and get it up over the trees and onto the green. So I remember this. I think it was 62 yards to the middle of the green, and I had to get over the trees. So I look at it and I go, you know what? Fuck it. I'm feeling a little froggy. So it was in the rough, but it was sitting up a little bit. And I know that a full swing, and this is the part I feel like you're going to say no shit, right? But now I'm starting to get to the point where I'm comfortable with my yardages and I know some of them. And I know a full swing with good contact with a 56 is going to give me 76 yards. Like, anytime I'm out there somewhere and I see I have 76 yards or something, I like light up, because I'm like, it's a solid shot with a 56. So I go, okay, well, I know my 56 goes 76 yards and I get these tall ass fucking trees, but I only have to cover 62 yards. So I open the 56 up a little bit and take a regular full swing, and I aim a little bit left, right, thinking open face is going to cause the ball to move a little bit right. So I aim a little bit left, I open up the 56, and I take a normal regular swing like I would try and hit it to the 76 number. And I fucking flushed it straight up in the air over the trees, one hop on the green to about 6 feet from the cup. And I hit the 6-footer for par and I get out of there onto the 3rd hole. And I was like,
just the way you drew it up.
Just the way I drew it up. Well, like the kids I was playing with, they were younger. 2 of them actually were Rhode Island state troopers, but they were pretty cool. But definitely like 25-ish. or younger or below. And there was one kid that was actually pretty good. He made a couple birdies. The other kids were fine, right? Either as good as me or worse. And that one kid, because it's the second hole I'm playing with them, he was like, holy shit, dude, like that was fucking unbelievable. So he thinks I'm way better than I actually am out the gate, right? Because it's the second hole. And I was like, wow, like that's wild. So I have like the confidence is there. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. So then I go to the third tee and I tee it up. And I knew this. I knew this. The tee box was a little bit sloped like away. So the ball was not technically because it's on a tee, right? But if it was on the ground, it would be a little bit below my feet. So I saw that and I was like, it's fine. Just set up. You'll deal with it, whatever. And obviously, after the fact, I was like, I should have teed the ball a little bit higher than I'm normally comfortable with to make up for the fact that it's below my feet, essentially. But I didn't. I teed it up everything like normal. And I fucking like bottomed out. Like I probably made the bottom of the club probably hit barely the top of the golf ball, and it just got into the fairway, just past the red tees. And then I hit a shank with a hybrid because I tried to pump a hybrid down there to make up for everything. Stupid play, right? So that goes way right. Then I hit a 7-iron far. I tried to chip on and I went long from the green. And then I almost holed out from the chip for 6 out of the rough. And I chipped it to like 2 inches. And then I tapped in for a 7. So that was the 7. So I was like riding high off of the second hole, making like an unbelievable, you know, 59-yard shot up over the trees, moved it left to right, like, to 6 feet of the pin. And then I make a triple on the next hole. So it was like, oh yeah, that's golf. But, like I said, all things considered, I did double the next hole, but then I made pars the rest of the way until I birdied the 9th. So, I mean, in the 7th hole, the par 5, I hit a ball OB. I hit my second ball OB. So I yanked my drive off the tee from 7 into the second fairway. So I played the holes the wrong way, basically. I hit my tee shot on 2 or my second shot from 2 onto 7, and my tee shot on 7 onto 2. And then I hit my second shot on the 7th hole a little too far, and it just went over the fence. So that went OB. But then, so second went out. I hit my 4th shot into the green to like 12 feet, and I hit a 12-foot putt for par. So that's what I mean. Like whenever something didn't work well, the other thing made up for it, right? Like I said, like I hit a 12-foot putt to save par on 5 after hitting my second ball OB. So I feel good, right?
Well, let's ruin that. Somehow, some way.
Yeah.
But I will say, so those are the types of things that, like, if you're gonna play well, there. So I hit 15 greens in that member guest when I shot 1 under.
All right, that was the other thing. I hit 5 out of the 9 greens.
So I hit 15 greens. I had 2 birdies and an eagle. So that's only 3 1 putts on those holes. Like, until you start getting into like the +3 range, you have to rely on luck for everything else. Now, so I missed 3 greens. One was the double, again, debacle. Fucking mental loss on that one. The other one was a close chip. The other one I had to punch out next to a tree, like treating my backswing, somehow hooked it around, whatever. And then from 120 yards, hit it to 6 feet, rolled the putt in. Like that's the type of shit that has to happen.
Right.
Like and I know like so I've never gone through decade, or I went through like the first month of decade, but like that's what Scott Fawcett always says. He goes, scoring low requires luck. Because if you hunt birdies, you're in trouble. He goes, you need to hit the ball well. You need to have good strategy. Like you need to lag it well, and you need to get lucky. That's
Right.
how it works.
Right.
So it's like the eagle that I made. I hit a hybrid to like fucking 4 feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
On the next time I played the hole, I had to punch out on the because obviously it's a par five. So I had to punch out. I had 94 yards. I hit my ball on the green to 9 feet. That's a great shot.
Right.
It's more than double as far as I had on the first putt. Same line. It's
Yeah.
more than double I had on the first putt from 125 yards further away, or I
Right.
guess closer, because the wedge was closer. The
Right.
hybrid was far away.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is like, did I hit a great hybrid? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
It's like,
landed in the right
what
spot.
are the odds you're
And
going
it
to hit a shot from, roughly 210 yards to 4 feet?
stupid.
Right. Like
It's a
that's,
stupid low,
yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
then it's like, so then but it's, you can stuff a ball sometimes. You can hit a long putt. Like you can, like, there's all types of ways. But that's what it takes, is it takes luck. So, there are times where, you're like evaluating your situation and you're not like, it's like, oh, I can get up and over this. Let me open the face. Yeah, well, this time you opened it too much, or you got way too underneath it and it didn't fucking get there.
Right.
So now,
Right.
now you've got a 20-yard pitch and you got to cover the bunker or something.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's how it goes. And that's why, like, so when I was again, obviously, people forget I went to Pebble Beach. But like when I was watching the women play there, because again, I had a rooting interest, but I was also very curious. How do they play it? Like, what do they do? How do they do it?
Right.
Bro, they play a very similar game to that we play. Like, watching the PGA Tour sets the most unrealistic side of golf. It is
Yeah.
like, we cannot play the way they play. No fucking chance.
Yeah.
And like watching the way the women play, I was actually like, wow, it is like night and day how fucking different it is. And like, you see on TV, it's like, oh, well, I should be able to do this, or I should be able. No, those guys do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The best women in the world wouldn't even do that.
Yeah.
And they are a million times better than us.
Yeah.
A million. Precisely 1 million.
Yeah. No, that is an accurate statistical analysis.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll see, right? I'll probably go to Pawtucket and get my fucking shit pushed in, right? And be like, the game's stupid and I hate it. And
You might get your ass absolutely handed to you.
yeah, I might go out and shoot a fucking 110, right? Like, who knows?
But you know what's funny? You can, and this is going to sound fucking stupid, and I am no fucking mental guru, trust me, because after I fatted a fucking wedge and, well, maybe I only hit 14 greens. After I fatted a wedge from fucking like 60 fucking yards, I almost fucking launched the thing into the fucking woods. But then I got up, chipped it to like fucking 4 feet and hit a curling putt.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever. So yeah, again, no mental fucking guru here. So there's a time where you can shoot 110 and it's your fault, and there's times where you can shoot 110 and it actually won't be your fault. And both are possible on a place you've never played, in a situation that you've never been in.
Right.
But and that's why, like, you have to control what you can control. And if you're sitting over there thinking, oh, well, it would be stupid to do that, it's like, not if it keeps the ball moving, not if
Right.
there's fucking trouble.
Right.
That's what I mean is like, if it's like a tight driving hole and you hit driver or fucking OB. That's really not like outside the realms of fucking possibilities here.
Right.
But if you're looking at like a yardage where it's like, well, I can hit 6-iron, but there's a bunker there. And if I pure it, it'll be fine. But if I catch it a little heavy, it's probably in that bunker. And then you hit that 6-iron and catch it a little heavy, and then it's in that bunker. And then you thin it out of there. And
Yeah.
then you don't get up and down and you 3-putt.
Yeah.
Well, it all goes back to that 6-iron where you could have evaluated, looked at it, hit an 8, been short
Right.
of everything.
Right.
And then at least you're not making a fucking massive number.
Right. Instead of making a triple or a quad, you're making a double, right? Or a single.
Could be a fucking if you like it. That's the thing is if it's your first shot and you just hit something that's not going to get into a bunker, but you're short of the green and you chip it onto the green.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. All you have to do is lag putt it.
Right.
And then you
Right.
made 5. You're probably going to be getting. You're probably going to get a stroke a hole except the par 3s. Like that's probably what it's going to end up like mathing out to.
Yeah.
So again, this is all fucking theoretical. This is on paper. Like it'll never go this way. If you laid up short of every green and chipped it on and 2-putted every single time, you would shoot 90 in a competition, which would end up being like close to net par.
Right. Right.
And then God forbid, like you actually don't have to take that strategy.
Yeah.
Again, that's just paper though.
Right.
I would say that being said, I made a fucking quad at Wannamoisit, and that didn't even fucking again. I had the yips off the tee box. I only hit one fucking tee ball,
Right.
so the other 7 was everything else.
Yeah. 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 So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And like I said, I feel good for the first time since I would say probably pre hurting my back. Like right before I hurt my back, I felt like I was starting to play better. And now I feel like I'm playing better than I was then. Right. Like it's just I think it's a little bit more of like a confidence thing too, right? Like I said, and like you had mentioned too, it's very easy that I could have taken that 56, opened it up too much and fucking toe shanked it, right? Like, but for me to look at it and be like, I think I can hit this shot, right? And have the confidence to actually pull it off.
Well, no matter what, so I'll tell you right now, and this is part of like the tee box yips that I was dealing with. It's when you start dealing with it's when you start thinking about other shit standing over the ball.
Yeah.
It's like, do all of your thinking in the back.
Right.
Like, if you're standing over the ball and you're thinking, maybe I should cock my wrist on the backswing. You're fucked. You are absolutely fucked.
Yeah.
But if you know behind the ball that your line's good and you like the club and you like your target, then you just swing. You can still hit it like shit, but that's golf.
Right.
If you're standing over the ball going, oh, gotta make sure I open my wrist up and like hinge and like you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're absolutely fucked. And that's the difference of like your fault or not your fault. Like
right.
if you do everything you're supposed to do and hit a bad shot, then it's just a bad shot.
Right.
But if you do everything you're supposed to do and you're standing over that 7-iron on the final hole when you're 1 under par, which you didn't know, going, oh, just steer this one home, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like that is a stupid, stupid fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And was I confident that I had the right line? No. Because there was a tree in my way. Like that's the thing is like, what should I have done? I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to wrap this around that tree. Okay. Take less club, aim at the left side of the green. If it draws, cool. You're going to be short. And if it doesn't draw, then you're still safe because you didn't take on too much.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap my golf cart around one of these trees.
Yeah. And then it just makes it that much worse.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Speaking of golf and everything, today we had the British Open. So golf
I
across
actually watched some of it today.
would
This major I watched so little of Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I watched a
yeah.
little bit on Saturday, but I didn't watch much.
Well, golf across the pond is obviously the timing's all fucked up, right? Because the first groups go off at like 1:30 a.m. our time, and
Yeah.
then the round finishes by like 1 o'clock in the afternoon for us. So most of the golf is played while people here are still asleep. God forbid, like if you live on the West Coast, you don't get to watch golf. Like,
They stay up the night before.
yeah, yeah,
They catch it on the tail end.
you either have to stay up the night before or
Because
you just
1:30 is what, 11? Nope. 10:30? Yeah, so it starts at like
yeah,
10:30 their time.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So
Fucking
one,
doing 3 hours was fucking difficult right there. Holy shit.
yeah. So then it would be the same, right? If it finished at 1 o'clock our time, it would wrap up at 10 a.m. for them.
Yeah, I mean Thursday, Friday go all day, but or I guess not all day, but like 3 o'clock. Because
Yeah,
I think it's still light there until like 9
yeah,
when they
because
9 o'clock
they're
local.
higher on
Yeah.
the
So I
latitude,
think
so they get
their
more
yeah,
light.
their summer they get like a full like you can legit play till 9, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
Although, so just quick aside, I don't know if you've ever seen a Buster Jack video. Pretty good. They played golf in Alaska at midnight. It just came out. I haven't
Oh,
seen it yet.
really?
Yeah. And I read about it in Tom Coyne's book. He did the same thing. Like he played at like midnight in fucking Alaska.
That's hilarious.
Um,
Well,
yeah,
because the sun never goes down.
yeah. Like literally, I think if it wasn't him, it was someone else. They said you can see it like lower down.
Yeah, and then it just goes
Never
back
really
up.
said. It just starts going back up.
That's hilarious.
But you are like all fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like because I don't know when the last time you stayed up until 2 in the morning was sober, which
Oh
I don't
God.
either.
Yeah, I don't. I have no fucking idea.
You are literally retarded. Like
Yeah.
if you like, even if you did not drink, you are like just drunk on stupidity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So imagine trying to fucking execute golf shots like that.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, they would be done at noon on the West Coast
Yeah.
because I think it's around 3 our time.
Okay. Yeah. So Brian Harman won. In easily the lamest major of this year. Um, and probably one of the lamest majors since Molinari won the Open. Right? Was that 2018, 2019?
Yeah, but Molinari actually had the like Tiger held the lead at one
Yeah,
point.
Tiger was chasing him.
Like at least something was happening there.
Yeah.
This was over by Friday at fucking I don't even know. Like I got up at 5:20. Did was his round over by then? It might have been.
Yeah. Could have been.
By 5:20 Eastern time. That might have been over. I can't
I mean,
remember.
he had a 5-shot 54 hole lead, and then that was it. He won by 5 strokes, right? So like they started the day on Saturday. He had a 5-stroke lead, and then no one ever got close.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
No.
It's not a great dude, it was dominant, but it was not a great winner and not a compelling championship.
Yeah. Yeah. Until today, I'll say yesterday afternoon, until the end of the rounds on Saturday, the leaderboard looked like absolute dog shit. Like names that were just fucking nothing, right? Like I like who are these people, right? Like there was
Yes.
the
Unfortunately, you have to give especially the Open Championship because you get so many more Europeans.
right.
You need to give the Open Championship legitimately all 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Because any idiot, and listen, I think that AM's going to be pretty good, but like any idiot can lead 1 round.
Right.
It's why the winners have to play fucking 4.
Right.
And it's like what makes Monday qualifiers so difficult and all that.
Yeah, I mean, you had guys on the leaderboard that just completely fell off after that, right? Like it was that Sharma guy from India who
Sharma,
did who did
I think he
finish
still finished
T8.
top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was up there. It was
No, it was Fleetwood, Griot, and I don't know Christo, the
yeah,
amateur.
Christo. Yeah,
I don't know his last name. Lamprecht?
Lamprecht. That's
Whatever.
it.
He's like six
Yeah.
fucking eight.
Yeah.
Um,
Højgaard was up there for a little bit. Nikolai Højgaard.
yeah, that's cute. Um, yeah, like they were the first round leaders. Okay. It's like, what did you think was gonna happen? Tommy
Right.
Fleetwood would probably hang around. Griot would probably give some back, but he's been around. The amateur, he's probably gonna move quite a bit back.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
He's also fucking huge. He's 6'8".
Fucking mashes the ball.
Yeah. Pretty cool story that Matt Jordan finished T10. That's his core. Like he's a member at
Yeah.
Royal Liverpool. So,
And I think he got in next year.
yeah, top 10 is invited next year.
Yeah, he got into Troon next year.
Yeah. Yep.
Which fuck me. Like, hopefully next year Troon can like give us something, just fucking anything. So the Duel in the Sun was at Troon, I believe. Fuck, I hope that's right. That might not be right. If it's not right, it was definitely where Henrik Stenson and Phil Mickelson had their
back and forth
duel, I guess.
Yeah.
Where they both finished like fucking 10 strokes ahead
of the next person.
But I think Stenson shot 63 in the final round and Phil shot 65. It was that was awesome. That day was sick.
Yeah.
And like I can't really remember. Like I know Tiger made his run in 18. Spieth and Kuchar went at it in 17. That was actually pretty good. 19 Lowry won fucking going away.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything in 20. Morikawa. I don't even remember that championship with Morikawa.
I honestly don't either.
And then
last year was Rory
last year?
choking and Cam
St.
Smith.
Andrews. Yeah, Cam Smith was good, but
Rory and Hovland, both of them choked it away.
And Cam Young fucking I don't know how you backdoor a final round, but he eagled 18 to finish second.
Yeah.
So it seemed like he was there, but he was never really threatening.
Right.
So I don't know. I hope we get something good. What was that called? The Duel in the Sun?
Yeah.
I don't know where they played that now. I'm thinking they may not have actually played that at Troon. Fuck, they played at Turnberry, which no one's ever going back to.
So my thing about this too is Brian Harman, in of himself, right? I don't know. He's not my favorite, right? After watching all the stuff today, though, I will say he's grown on me. He's a slow play guy, right? So it's annoying. The fucking broadcast was counting how many times he was waggling his club.
So truthfully,
before.
I thought that was fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do shit like that, put a timer on can't lay.
Right.
Fuck that.
Right.
It's almost like when the Masters gave that 14-year-old the fucking slow time penalty.
Yeah.
Well, we're never gonna see this little Asian kid again.
Yeah.
It's you fucking penalized him.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck was the waggle counter?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Put a timer on can't lay and watch people's fucking heads explode.
Right.
There was no waggle counter when the Duff Daddy won in 13.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I thought that was bullshit.
I did too. I thought that was a little bit ridiculous. But either way, like I said, you and I both, where we like to root for chaos. We like the disruption. We like people just getting pissed off at dumb shit, right? So the fact that Brian Harman was or is from Georgia, right? Because the UK is a bunch of fucking vaginas. word got out that Brian Harman likes to hunt in his free time.
Yeah.
So people kept like going at him for hunting and all kinds of shit. And it's like,
He's a bow hunter.
Yeah, what is wrong with you people? He's a bow
Well, no, because
hunter.
they started talking about guns. He's a bow
Yeah.
hunter.
Yeah, he's a bow hunter.
And his kids like spearfish.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like people
guns.
So people are just going nuts over that, right? Because it's the UK. And so for that reason, I actually thoroughly enjoyed the Brian Harman one. Because then he gets up there and he's giving his speech and he's got a little, he's not like deep south, like southern drawl, but he's got like a little bit of a southern drawl. He's like, yeah, like just giving his speech, saying what he wants. And I go, it's got to burn the asses of all those stupid fucking Brits that have to sit there and watch this Southern American boy who's fucking from Georgia, who likes to hunt, that just came over here and won your fucking tournament. Because the rest of the leaderboard was all Eurobubs. I mean, I know Cam Young was right there, but like it was who was up there? It was Rahm. Sepp Straka, Rory was close by. I think Hovland kind of fell off.
He did. Fleetwood was like around.
I don't really count Jason Day because he's not European, right? He's
that counts. That's Euro trash.
He's a Euro trash, but Grillo.
South Africa is definitely there. Euro trash.
Matt Jordan, Fleetwood, Stenson, Dietrich, Hovland. So like Alex Fitzpatrick was T17, Tyrrell Hatton was T20. So like the leaderboard is just littered with Euro trash.
Everyone there wanted Rory to win.
Yes.
And if it couldn't be Rory, it was Fleetwood.
Yes.
That's what they wanted.
Yep. And
it's not what they got.
The hunter from Georgia is the guy that won.
So here are my pros and cons with Brian Harman. So first of all, Brian Harman does nothing for me. He's 36 years old. He's won 3 times, and now he has a major. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Again, say I'm along the same lines.
So massive con. Pro. The UK absolutely hated the ever-living fuck out of it. I'm down with that. 2, he made Ricky Fowler cry in college. I retweeted the story. Go look at it. I absolutely, I am so fucking down with that.
Yeah.
He's no Michael Jordan, trust me.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he even mentioned, like someone said something to me at one point. He goes, and it brought me right back in. And it's like, yes, you're heckling. Which, first of all, the British people like, we're so classy, and it's like, you people, pussies.
So I watched his post round like interviews and stuff, and he said on one of them, he was like, because he mentioned that, and he goes, I don't know. I mean, I guess if they really didn't want me to win, they should have been a lot nicer.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great fucking quote.
And that backs up to the Ricky Fowler story too.
Right. Because Ricky Fowler pissed him off.
Yes.
Because he didn't pick up the flag after one of the holes. So he played pissed off the rest of the rounding.
Birdied 3 in a row
and whooped his ass.
Beat him going away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rico cried.
Yeah. So like, I like that. Right. So like, I mean, no pun intended. I know he did go to Georgia and he's a bulldog, but he's got a little dog in him.
Well, he's also short,
I do like that. Yeah. Yeah.
If you were to look closer, he's this would be a pro still. He is probably one of the more relatable golfers to us. Like,
right.
Whether you look at equipment, swing speed, driving distance, like he still hits it better than all of us, but like, bro, he's as close as it gets to like an elite player.
Yeah.
Like an elite, I don't want to say elite amateur, because that, like an elite mid-am. Because it's like that ignores the college kids that went pro.
Right. Yeah, I think his average driving distance is like 290.
Yeah, which again, most people aren't doing that. But
right. But on the PGA Tour,
you could do that.
I think it's below average. I don't know what, I think the average on tour is 294.
It's close. I know swing speed's around 114, 117, something like that. I don't know how fast he swings it. But dude, he's uses like a 56 gram shaft, stiff shaft. Like nobody's doing that. I assure you. But then ultimately too, it's like it's just a fucking waste. It's a waste of a major win. Like it's not the guys that are gonna have. I hate fucking legacy because like I know we were using legacy as like whatever,
Yeah.
but like if Rom wins, now he's a 3-time major winner.
Right.
If Roars wins again, like that's his 5th. You know, you don't get any of that when Brian Harman wins.
Right.
And he's 36, so it's like, dude, how much more does this guy have left in the tank? Like,
Yeah.
he's not an up and comer who's winning for the first time. He's a fucking old guy.
Yeah. The last time he won was
Honestly, it's a
2017,
yeah,
16,
and
17.
it's about as useful as Molinari winning.
Right.
What the fuck has that guy done outside of plop it in the fucking water at 12 at Augusta in
Yeah.
2019? And he did it on 12, and I think he did it on 15.
Yeah.
Like, go away.
Yeah.
But that's classic Open Championship for you right there.
Well, so that was another thing. So there's two more things that I took away from his post round interview. They asked him about being a short hitter, and they said, do you see anything wrong with that in today's game or anything like that? And he laughed and he goes, I don't see anything wrong with it. And he points to the trophy and he goes, I think this proves that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So again, him just being like, fuck you, right? Like he's basically politely telling these people to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And then
that I would say part of like too is like the UK, they like everyone over here thinks it's the Masters, everyone over there thinks it's the Open Championship, and they don't think it's particularly close. And then anyone that's neutral, so like your Southern Hemisphere Euro trash, they all try to be like, oh well, the Masters doesn't have like a full field, like it's a great venue. Love that it's the same place every year, but like it would be nice if there were more people in it. Like that's how they like politely say it's probably the Open Championship just because it's a small bullshit field.
right.
But like they think their championship is so good, and it's like, oh, like this is the way it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Harman. That's how golf's supposed to be played. Because that's not what I'm fucking hearing. You
Yeah.
guys like Rahm and Roars and Fleetwood. That's what you people like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the last thing before we move on too was he had a couple questions that asked him about hunting. And so like this one British reporter like asked him a question about hunting or whatever. And he goes, oh, so like, what, I forget how he worded it, but Brian Harman was like, yeah, I bow hunt. Oh, he asked him this is fucking great. This was the question. If you could be on a hunt for an extended period of time, hunting for the most rare of animal, or win the Open Championship, which would it be? And Brian Harman is like, listen, man, I like to hunt, but like I can't hunt every single day. He's like, I could not do that every single day. He goes, I like to play golf every single day and I can do it and I enjoy it. Like hunting is just something that I do because I enjoy it as like a hobby. And so then the guy asked him like, oh, okay. So they went back and forth for a little while. So then the guy asked him another follow-up and he answered it. And then he asked him another question about hunting, and Brian and Harman was like, yeah, I bow hunt. And the guy goes, okay, so like, how good of a shot are you? From like what distance? And so I know what he's doing. So I only know this just from following Joe Rogan because he's a big bow hunter, and Cam Hanes and John Dudley and all those guys. But the efficacy of a kill goes down significantly the further away you are, right? Like it's harder. It's harder to hit a target, right? Because essentially you're aiming for the heart or the lungs of the animal, right? If it's a deer or whatever, because you want a quick death. You want a quick, easy death. And the further away you are, the lower your chances of hitting, quote unquote, the bullseye are. So Harman goes, well, I like my chances from anything 80 yards and in, but I would never take a shot on an animal from further than 40 yards, which was the perfect answer. So and I only know this from listening to podcasts about bow hunting. I've never been myself, but 40 yards is typically where guys want to be, right? Like professional bow hunters, you want to be about 40 yards because it's not close enough where you're going to spook the animal, but it's not far enough away where like you're going to make a bad shot. Like that's the sweet spot. So Harman answered it perfectly. He goes, I like my odds from 80, but I would never take a shot on an animal from greater than 40. So then the guy goes, oh, just to make clear, you only bow hunt. You've never used a rifle. And Harman goes, no, I'm a bow hunter. I don't kill animals with rifles. And then like, I think that they had to like wrestle the microphone away from this guy because the interaction of this back and forth lasted for like maybe like two minutes, which is a long time, right? For a reporter asking a guy a question, like 2-3 minutes is a long back and forth. So then they like got the mic away from him and then they went to someone else. But like, that's your bullshit, like UK reporter trying to find an angle, right? Like, oh, Brian Harman, he shoots animals from too far away where he can't make a good shot or he kills them with rifles, but they couldn't do any of that because he answered the questions exactly how you needed to answer them. So good on Harman and fuck the UK. Pussies. Their opinions haven't mattered since 1776 anyway. All right. Geez. That was like, we did a lot of golf. Basically the entire episode on golf. Really quick though, before we wrap things up, let's see here. What do we want to go with? So this is more topical. You seen all this Jason Aldean stuff?
Kind of.
So
I think I've seen it all, but I don't know because I don't know what it all is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just people being stupid, right? So, for anyone that doesn't know, Jason Aldean is a country singer. He put out a song not even that recently. I think the song actually came out like a couple months ago, but for some reason now it's going in the news. And it's called
the video might have come out.
Oh, the video is what came out then, yeah. It's called like Try That in My Hometown or Small Town America or like whatever the fuck the song is. I don't know. I haven't listened to it. I'm not a big new country guy. Like the country music I listen to is from like the early to mid 2000s. But so some people have taken that song and said that it should be canceled because it's racist and it promotes racism. So a couple of things here. Aldean obviously has come out and said like that's obviously not what it is. It's about small town America and like people having relationships with each other and like being, your neighbors and stuff like that. Versus like big city life, which has been a thing in America like almost since the very beginning. Like people that live in big cities and people that live in like rural small town America like don't agree on a whole lot of things, right? Like I said, like that's not news. It's not like this new phenomenon. Like, oh my God, can you believe that there's people in the same country that think differently? Yeah, it's always been the case. But so my thing is like the people, I'm trying to think of how I can word this. I think this is a case of the media, the mainstream legacy media, stepping in and formulating an opinion for people. And then people are just running with it, right? So, like I said, legacy media, whether that's CNN, MSNBC, NBC, all those bullshit companies, right? They see this as an opportunity to sow more of a divide between people. So they see this song and they go, oh, the song's racist. So now people are out there being like, this song is racist. It promotes racism. They should cancel it. I don't think the song is inherently racist, right? But like, this is what we live in now. This is the internet age. This is the Twitter age. This is 2023. People get one idea and they run with it and it explodes. And now it's, oh, you like that song? You're a racist piece of shit. It's the lynching anthem. Like I've heard people talk about it's the lynching anthem. Literally nowhere in the song is lynching brought up. Nowhere in the song does he talk about black people, Hispanic people, white people. Race is not mentioned in the song. Like you can look at the lyrics. I've seen the lyrics. It's just talking about the difference between life in the big city versus small town America. And in rural America, that shit won't fly. If anything, it's more of a Second Amendment argument than it is like a racism thing, right?
So I actually think that the real issue isn't actually the song, because the song was out first.
Right.
Like you said, it came out. I think the issue is the video, because I'm pretty sure the video uses footage from protests and robberies and looting and everything from the last like 4 years.
Okay.
Now,
I haven't seen the video.
I haven't either. I just read an article when someone brought it up to me. So we all know what those were in regards to. All of those protests, robberies, looting, fucking riots. All of that was stemmed from race in some way, shape, or form in the last 4 years. And I'm pretty sure none of it was from the Capitol building. So it's whatever. It was also, the video took place at a courthouse in Tennessee where a famous lynching happened, like way back in the day, like 100 years ago. But like that was like a pretty significant event. So my only thing is whoever directed this music video is a fucking moron.
Right.
Because they either didn't think it would be it they either didn't think it would go this way, or they were too stupid to realize what they were doing.
Right.
Which that kind of says the same thing. Because I don't think like a music video producer would do this intentionally. Like that would be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Maybe they did. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who does these music videos, but
yeah, I mean, I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Because I also just feel like a music video director is not gonna be like so fucking far hard right that they're like, you know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame black people for everything in this music video.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take all this money and all these resources and all this shit, and I'm gonna blame black people for everything, and I'm gonna put it into a music video, and hopefully it gets pulled, and then we waste everything, everyone's time, resources, money, all of it. I would like to think that that was not the case, but I'm starting to think that whoever the director was fucking stupid. Now maybe he directed his own, I don't know, but that's the problem here. I don't think it was the lyrics of the song.
Yeah,
I think
I think it's Hanlon's razor or something like that, where it's like never attribute malice to something where stupidity could be the answer.
right.
Right. Like,
And that's what I don't know. I don't know if
most
it was
often
malicious
people
intent.
are just stupid.
Yes. And it's like, yeah, man, like all the protests and looting, rioting, all that shit in the last 4 years, that was all racial. You could have went back in fucking time about
Right.
anything.
Right.
But nope, you use the current stuff. Okay. That was fucking stupid. And then it's like, you had to use that courthouse. You couldn't use fucking anywhere else. There was nowhere else that you could have filmed that fucking music video. Nowhere.
Yeah.
There was nowhere in the fucking South. Nowhere in Tennessee. Nowhere in Georgia. Nowhere that you could have fucking filmed that. Had to film it there, huh?
Right. Right.
Moron. So again, whether it's malice or fucking a fucking severe lack of intelligence, I don't know,
Right.
but that's my thing.
Okay.
Like
Yeah. So I
release,
didn't know that about the music video.
yeah, that because that's the problem. Because I think you're right. The song came out earlier this year,
Yeah.
or the song's been out. It's the
Yeah.
video that became a problem.
Right.
And I know the courthouse was the setting, and I know that it was like using footage from everything in the last 4 years. It's like, what the fuck did you think the backlash was going to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not even in video or media, and I could have fucking told you that that was a very, very bad idea.
Yeah. Seriously. Like
Like,
use
what the fuck
use
did you think was going to
footage
happen?
from like a France protest or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, so I can't speak to what specifically, but like, why?
yeah.
Just why?
Yeah.
Vietnam, actually, that would have been a good one because I know there's like mentioned shit about the flag. Like,
Right.
Vietnam would have been a good one
Right.
because people were fucking pissed off then and they fucking, defaced the flag and protested and all that shit.
Right.
It's been a while. Could have went that way.
Right. Right.
Nope. In
Yeah.
in 2023 had to go that route. Fucking dumbass.
Well, the interesting thing about it is they tried to cancel the song and Aldean, and now he is actually way more fucking popular.
Yeah,
I
that's
think the song itself is hit like number one now on the chart. So
it's an inside job.
yeah, I know.
Maybe the director is even smarter than we thought.
He
Let's
knew
make
that
so
all of the
fucked up of a
press, yeah,
video.
all the press would drive it to number one.
Any press is good press, right?
That's true.
Or
Um, but it's interesting because I saw someone tweet this that said, and again, this is take this with a grain of salt, right? I'm not even saying that I believe this, but I do think it's an interesting observation that someone tweeted and said, Bud Light tried to go woke and anti-conservative and they lost $30 billion in their business. Now people try and cancel Jason Aldean for a song that's not actually racist, and he becomes more popular and his song hits number one. So like their point of it was like the underlying point of that tweet was like, don't fuck with conservatives. But like, again, I don't really give a shit one way or another about that. But I do think it's an interesting observation, right?
yeah, so let's skip the don't fuck with conservatives thought because I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's really
But
fucking dumb.
conservatives are definitely more likely to band with each other because they're definitely a more I want to say that
Ideologically,
I
they're
want to
more
say
cohesive.
that's a good way to put it.
Politically, they are not, right? Because you have
Trump versus
Trump
whatever.
versus not Trump versus the intern. You know what I mean?
But
So like
yeah,
from a political standpoint, the Republicans are a fucking mess. But ideologically, they all believe the same thing.
pretty much. It's
Pretty
just
much.
who's gonna lead the way is what they're
Exactly.
fucking pissed off
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then on the other side, it's like they don't know what the fuck they want.
No.
And like some of them want this and that's not good enough. And
Some of them want full blown socialism and communism. Other ones are like, well, let's not go that far, but we should have some stuff, right? So they don't believe the same thing mostly, right? We're painting with broad brushstrokes here, but I think that's a fair
they're more
analogy.
they're more likely to divide within themselves,
Right.
as we can see.
Yeah. But they are also more likely to fall in line and choose one person. Right. Like we don't have like RFK, who I think is the perfect guy to be the next president. Right. Like as someone that doesn't really have much to do with politics and like I don't really have a label for one or the other. I guess I say this from time to time. If I did have to give a label, I'd probably fall into more of like a libertarian area. But like even all that being said, like I think RFK is the guy, right? Like I don't think right now in the current race, right? Like obviously I could pick someone that I think Joe Rogan would be an awesome president. But I think Elon Musk would be a great president, right? Like there's plenty of people out there that would be a good president that aren't in the race. I think people that are right now running for president, I think RFK Jr. is the best candidate out there who's running as a Democrat, and they won't give him the fucking time of day because they all want to fall in line behind the guy with dementia. So like that's the difference, right? Like the Republicans all believe the same thing, but they can't agree on a guy. The Democrats don't all believe the same thing, but they'll just be like, that's our guy. We're going with him because he's our guy. So, yeah, all that from a fucking country song. Imagine
Sick.
people flipping out. So,
Pretty awesome.
yeah, just don't listen to it. Last time I checked, most people don't listen to country anyway, right? Like, what the fuck?
Well, dude,
like,
it's summer. Everyone listens to country
oh
right
yeah, yeah, it's true. That's so true. I forgot about that.
Yep.
We did a whole bit on that in one like some episode, some like last year at some point. I remember doing that. Oh man. Yeah. So here we are. Well, all that being said, you want to wrap this up?
We can wrap this up.
All right. What do you got?
So Michaela and I went to Stop and Shop the other day. Ice cream run. And Talenti usually has like the full blown regular ice cream, and then usually it's just like sorbet,
Yeah.
which sorbet fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's lame.
So for those of us that will not tolerate lactose,
Did you get some gelat?
not exactly. For those of us that will not tolerate, obviously puts us in a little bit of a conundrum because it does look quite good. But if you can't have the regular thing and sorbet fucking sucks, it's like, what are you left with? So usually it's like the other shit, like, you know, the Ben and Jerry's dairy free is fine, but it's fucking just like heavy because it's effectively like real, but not.
Yeah.
And then it's like Halo Top's like nothing.
You know
So
what
it's
I
like,
found out? I know this is a tangent, but you know what I found out about Halo Top? You know, it's regular ice cream, but the reason why it's low calorie is because they blow air into the ice cream.
into the
So,
regular one
yeah.
because they do have dairy free as well.
So like if you see like most pints of ice cream are like 7, 8, 900 calories, but like a pint of Halo Top is like 350, 360, right? Some of them might be 400 depending on what they are. But the way they do that, I saw a video about this. They somehow like fuse air into like the batter, I guess, if you will, like the melted ice cream when they put it in. So it's more fluffy and it takes up more space. So if you let a pint of Halo Top melt, it'll only melt to be like half full versus like a pint of any other ice cream that you let melt will melt to be like at the top. And I was like, wow, that's fucking hilarious that they just dupe everybody into thinking that it's half the calories of regular ice cream. Like, how do they do it? They just fill it with air.
I never felt as though Halo Top was regular ice cream. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Yeah.
I knew there was always something missing. Well, apparently it was just more air.
Yeah.
Wasn't actually, nothing was missing. It was just more air in it.
Yeah.
But again, those serve a very specific purpose. Like if you want like a real pint of ice cream, that's not the fucking right option. But if you want something that you know is like moderately low calorie, go nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, Talenti has a coffee or dairy-free coffee sorbetto. Gave it a shot. Quite good. Would recommend. No air blown into it. I mean, it's like full on calories. Like you're not saving any calories with this shit.
Right.
But
Right.
if you will not tolerate lactose and you like coffee ice cream, that's worth a shot.
It's what did you say? It's a coffee sorbetto.
Yeah. It tastes like coffee ice cream, but it's not ice cream because it's dairy free.
Interesting. How the fuck do they make it? I wonder.
I don't know. I mean, there's like egg yolks in it and a bunch of other shit. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Google it, Mari.
Yeah.
I
I'll
mean,
have to.
you can definitely find an ingredients list on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure if I just Google it, I can figure it out. But all right.
Yeah.
Well,
They
that's good
usually
to
made
know.
without milk.
Yeah. Uh all right. So my final thought is I'm going to give a shout out to Derek on this one, friend of the show. I don't know if we do get some downloads from people in Connecticut. I don't know if Derek is the one that listens, but some people do. So either way, if you are, sup, Derek. Um, been on before in the past, and I was texting with him and Amy and Fia the other day, and they let me know that they weren't going to be able to make it to the baby shower that was yesterday, which we didn't even get to in this episode. I'll cover that on fucking Tuesday's episode. Um, too much golf to talk about today, but they couldn't make it because their dogs got sprayed by skunks.
Fun.
And it was hilarious too because their kid like pissed in the car seat when they put him in there, so they had to like clean that. The dogs reek, which means like the house reeks because they jump on the couch and they like rub on the couch, and like they're going through it right now. So in that conversation, I had the brilliant idea of why, or question, I guess, question idea, prompt, if you will. Why has no one created GMO skunks that don't smell or that don't spray like smelly shit, right? And I said, like, fuck corn, right? Like, fuck GMO corn. Why don't we make GMO skunks that don't spray stinky shit? Right? They can still spray, right? Just have them spray water or piss, whatever. Either way, you're getting sprayed by a skunk, it sucks, right? So like just get the smell out of there. So like if you get pissed on by a skunk, okay, it sucks, right? You got to go wash it off. But at least you're not going to smell for like a week. Like
But
how have we not,
how do you get rid of the real skunks?
you just kill them. You introduce a virus into their population that culls the weak ones.
Oh, how about this?
Oh, that's interesting. That's weird.
The GMO ones only eat the real ones.
Yeah, but then when all the real ones are gone, what would the GMO ones eat?
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
The skunks are gone.
Yeah. But like I thought my solution would keep the ecosystem in balance, right? Like because I don't know what
We're all
skunks eat.
fucked anyway.
Yeah. I don't know what skunks eat, but like they do something. Like they're part of the ecosystem, right? They're part of the food chain. So if you just eradicate all the skunks, there's going to be some ramifications there. So I figured you can use genetically modified whatever. You can use CRISPR, right? To genetically modify them to not spray stinky shit.
Why can't we just get like an antitoxin that like anti skunk smell?
That would be another good solution.
Someone should work on that.
Yeah. I don't think there's any real money in that.
Mm, anyone whose dog gets sprayed by a skunk will pay whatever it costs. So if it's $250, I guarantee you they would have paid the 500 to fucking have them not smell.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, there's nothing that's like, and the worst part about it too is like once the smell finally goes away, when they get wet, like the smell comes back.
Rough.
Yeah. So yeah, skunks suck, right? But
Yeah,
we have
we're
the
eradicating them.
technology. We literally have the technology. We spend all kinds of money. Like I said, we genetically modify crops, right? We have GMO corn so that we can douse it with fucking Roundup and glyphosate and it'll survive through glyphosate. Like, how can we not just modify skunks to not smell?
Well, I mean, I guess so. If we're really worried about the ecosystem, that's their defense mechanism. So if they don't have that, then they're fucking dead anyway.
That's fine. They'll figure it out.
Well, that's why I just said just breed them to eat skunks, and then they're all gone. Because regardless of what we do, they're all gone no matter what.
Give them a different defense mechanism. I don't know. Give them like
Breathing
claws.
fire.
Yeah, breathing fire would be awesome. That would be a cool one.
Yeah, until your dog gets singed.
At
At least he doesn't smell.
Yeah, it's true. Well, he smells like burnt hair. I don't know what would be worse. Well, the burnt hair smell wouldn't last probably.
Nope. No, it wouldn't.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like I said, it was a random thought that I had that was like, I don't know. I feel like there's a potential solution to this problem that no one has come up with.
You would think.
You would think. So that's it. That's gonna do it for us. So thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, hit that button up top, like, rate, review, wherever you're at. Tell everybody you know about the show. Thank you guys out there for spreading the word. Keep doing it. We've gained like, I think 4 subscribers on YouTube in the last couple weeks. We're almost at 100 subscribers on YouTube. That would be pretty fun. The audio show is picking back up. We typically go through a lull right around like the 4th of July because people are busy doing shit. But we've come back with a vengeance. What is it? I think the state of New Hampshire is crushing. Massachusetts, you're fucking falling behind. We're here, right? This is our local podcasting area in Massachusetts. I think Massachusetts is 3rd or 4th on the state list for most downloads this month. New Hampshire is crushing. I think they have almost double what Massachusetts has. Then Pennsylvania is 2nd. And then I think Virginia and Massachusetts are pretty close. They're tied. But shout out to all those people out there. California is a big one. Oregon, we just got some new downloads. So we're all over the fucking place. Shout out to you guys. Keep telling everybody about the show. And while you do it, we got some one update, and I think I might have another update for the next podcast when it comes to some sponsors. So unfortunately, it has come to my attention that Grill Your Ass Off is no longer a sponsor of the show. So through no fault of their own, actually, they switched their affiliate program through Shopify, which Shopify is kind of fucking stupid. That's what we use for IronRX. It's just fucking lame. It's like touted as this like, oh, it integrates with everything, but it's just a fucking pain in the ass. I'm not a big Shopify guy, but regardless, Grill Your Ass Off switched their affiliate link through Shopify. And so Shopify's requirement in order to maintain an affiliate code, because you have to verify yourself through social media, is that you need to have at least 1,000 followers on Instagram in order to qualify to use the Shopify affiliate program. So, and they even say, we apologize if this is any inconvenience. This is not a requirement from your brand. However, this is our requirement. So fuck Shopify. Grill Your Ass Off has fallen off the table. I still love them, but they will no longer be promoted on this show until we get 1,000 followers on Instagram. So you're going to want to go to Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod, right? If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it at the bottom right under here. Go there and follow us on Instagram and tell everybody you know to follow us too. If you can hear the sound of my voice, you should be following us on Instagram so that we can continue to save you money with Go Your Ass Off. So for the time being, they're gone. So it's been a good run. They've been with us almost since the beginning. They were our first sponsor. They've been with us for a long time. So sorry to see them go, but maybe they'll be back in the future. It's up to you guys if we get 1,000 followers. So you can get us on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. The Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. Website, sarcasmspeaks.com. Go to the merch store, buy some merch. You can get the merch store through the link in the bio on Instagram. So you're going to want to, we have the link in our Instagram bio has links to all of our current and potential future promo codes and affiliate links and all that stuff. So Grill Your Ass Off is gone. We'll probably replace it with something for next episode. I'll let you guys know what that is. But currently still with us, we have mybookie.com. If you use the promo code Sarcasm Pod, it will double your first deposit up to $1,000 over there. And then also Moon Brew. You see, I was drinking it earlier in the episode, drinking out of a wine glass because I'm a classy bitch. Mostly just because all my other glasses are in the dishwasher right now. But you can drink it hot, you can drink it cold, right? This was cold, threw it on some ice, throw a little almond milk in there, helps the flavor. If you're drinking hot, make sure you put some honey in there. It's got a bitter taste at first until you get used to it. So you use the promo code Jared16159 at moonbrew.com to get 10% off every single time you check out over there. That's a big one. We've made a lot of referrals through there. My email's been blowing up with people that are buying shit through Moon Brew. So it works, right? Like I said, I wouldn't promote it if it wasn't good. So for now, for the time being, we have MyBookie and Moon Brew. So shout out to those guys. Go save yourself some money on some Moon Brew tea and double your deposit on sports betting with mybookie.com. So until next time, good night, everybody.